God-level duplication system. Chapter 47. Successfully copied. And the crowd behind was also in an uproar. The disciples looked at Lin Xuan's figure in front of them, and their hearts were shaken. Unexpectedly, Lin Xuan, a new disciple, actually entered the top 10 fields of the outer sect. Moreover, he stayed here unharmed and was not expelled. It really made the disciples a little unbelievable and unbelievable. You know, before, there was an outer sect master in the late stage of Qi gathering realm who wanted to go to the front and show off. In the end, he was kicked back by one of the top 10 middle schools in the outer gate. The injury was serious, and as a result, the scores in the subsequent competitions have dropped a lot. After that, all the disciples knew that the front row was the domain of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. They are not at the same level, and are not allowed to be juxtaposed at all. But now, Lin Xuan, a new disciple, has achieved what the old disciples at the late Qi gathering stage could not do in the past. It naturally shocked all the disciples. But at this time, another new disciple, who was also a potential disciple, saw that Lin Xuan was getting a lot of attention from the disciples, and he was very envious and pushed forward. It's a pity that he was just approaching the past when he was blown away with a punch by one of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. Although he is a potential disciple, he is considered a genius in the outer sect, but he has only been in the enlightened state for a month. Where are the opponents of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect who are at the peak of Qi gathering realm? With one punch, he flew upside down, vomiting blood again and again, and was seriously injured. Why is Lin Xuan capable? I can't. I'm also a potential disciple. Get lost. A new disciple of enlightened state is not worthy to stand side by side with us. The top 10 disciples of the outer sect who blasted him away gave a cold snort and were too lazy to talk nonsense. The potential disciple's face turned red, feeling the opponent's power. He didn't dare to say anything, but he still stared at Lin Xuan's back, very dissatisfied. At this time, an old disciple next to him helped him up and said, "Boy, you didn't see so many of our old disciples behind us. You think we don't want to go ahead? It's not that I don't want to, but I can't. Those who are not in the top 10 levels of the outer door will all be expelled." The old disciple explained something. Then Lin Xuan is also a new disciple, why can he? The potential disciple asked unwillingly. Because Lin Xuan is a top talent who is valued by the three elders and who is very likely to become a true disciple in the future. You must have heard about Lin Xuan's deeds recently, right? I can tell you that Lin Xuan's probability of becoming a true disciple is higher than that of senior brother Chen Yuzi, the top 10 outer sect, or even the top 3 outer sect master. This is also why, although Lin Xuan is a new disciple, he can still be in the front area. Lin Xuan's potential is boundless, and the top 10 seniors in the outer sect will give Lin Xuan enough face. If you have potential and talent like Lin Xuan, you can go too. I promise no one will stop you. If not, stop talking nonsense and stand behind. Don't think about being in the limelight. Other than Lin Xuan, you new disciples of this class are not worthy. Understand? The old disciple explained it in detail. At the end, his face turned cold, and he scolded. What he can't get used to the most is such a self-righteous stunned young man. As long as he has the strength and talent of Lin Xuan, that's all. You dare to be arrogant when you have nothing. Are you looking for a fight? I understand, I understand. The potential disciple nodded repeatedly, with a frightened expression. He finally knew how big the gap between himself and Lin Xuan was. Not a level at all. Not daring to complain anymore, he turned around and walked towards the back of the team. The surrounding disciples also caused quite a commotion. Only then did they know that the rumors were true. Although I heard that Lin Xuan was very talented before, he was faintly the #1 genius in the outer sect. But after all, I heard it, I didn't see it, and I still didn't believe it. Now after a while of explanation by the old disciple, Lin Xuan was seen standing in the top 10 fields of the outer gate, but he was safe and sound. Only then did I really understand. Lin Xuan's talent is really strong, even stronger than the rumors. In front, the great elder, the true disciple Xu Anlin, and the deacons knew everything that happened afterwards. However, this is a struggle between outer disciples. As long as it is not malicious persecution or serious situations such as hurting people's lives, they generally will not care about it. Outer disciples compete with each other so that they are more energetic. It is beneficial to select more outstanding disciples. If they couldn't even bear the small fights inside the sect, how could they survive the truly brutal struggles outside? Not to mention the expansion of the sect. Such a waste disciple, don't mind. Therefore, the high-level sects generally ignore the conflicts and struggles between disciples as long as they are not excessive. And the disciples were in the front row. Lin Xuan stood near the middle. He also didn't know that among the disciples behind, such changes had occurred because of him. At this moment, he was watching the great elder and true disciple Shu Anlin in front of him, preparing to copy a wave of treasures. Both of them are strong in the spiritual realm with rich treasures on their bodies. And the energy points in his hand after copying all the outer disciples in the martial arts field are only 200,000. It is not enough to copy all the treasures of these two people. Lin Xuan was thinking about what to copy. After a while, Lin Xuan made a decision. Copy the talent and artistic conception first. Talent represents potential and future. The higher the talent, the stronger the potential, and the further and smoother the road of martial arts in the future. I can't let it go. In addition, some talents, such as strength talents and certain attribute talents, can play a supporting role and enhance combat power. As for artistic conception, it can directly improve the strength. Once the artistic conception is used, the combat power will increase almost geometrically, which is not comparable to before without the artistic conception. For the next competition, he needs to obtain enough energy points. Also, Davy's reward is very generous, and he wants it very much. It must be strong enough. In this way, artistic conception plays a role. Immediately, Lin Xuan stopped wasting time. With a thought, ding, consume 30,000 energy points, copy successfully, and get 20% sword intent. Ding, consume 100,000 energy points, copy successfully, and get spiritual training talent. Ding, consume 10,000 energy points, copy successfully, and get extreme strength talent. But between breaths, the 200,000 energy points on hand were exhausted, replaced with several treasures. Lin Xuan smiled as he looked at the copied treasures in the attribute panel. With these treasures, his strength can skyrocket again. It's just that there are two strong spirit-opening spirit masters, the Great Elder and Shu Anlin, in front of them, so they should not be used together. I can only wait for a while. After entering the puppet tower, it will be integrated. Inside the puppet tower, it is relatively safe. After all, the system is his biggest secret, and there must be no sign of it being exposed. Afterwards, Lin Xuan remained calm on the surface, and together with all the disciples, followed the steps of the Great Elder and walked forward. Not long after, they came to a 100-meter-high tower. The whole body of the tower is pitch black, giving people a sense of massiness. It is the puppet tower.